The average Kazan manages to finish 30 Keres Sundang hills in one day. The kris-making skills of the Maranos are reflected on this exquisitely finished kris. Abdul Manugankar, 38, took 2 months to finish this kris. It is made of an array of metals, including 14-karat gold and silver. Kris made in this village are already famous due to their fine craftsmanship. Many nobles from Brunei and Malaysia have ordered high-quality kris from here. Kris making is another Malay art which is still kept alive to this day. Nobody would imagine that the ancient skill of making traditional weapons to defend the sovereignty of Islam is still practiced till today. However, today, it is praised not because of its role in war, but because of its exquisite beauty that symbolizes the uniqueness of the Malays in designing a tool which is unsurpassed in quality anywhere in the world. Behind the tranquility of this lake, the history of upholding Islam under the leadership of the Maguindanao Sultanate has never been forgotten. Who would have guessed that the peaceful denizens of this beautiful region once fought a fierce battle to defend their faith? This is the Marantau region that was once under the jurisdiction of the Maguindanao Sultanate. Today, some traditional lifestyles still exist here. Centuries ago, this region was a target of Spanish attack to weaken the influence of Islam. And at this waterfront, ruins of a fort can still be seen. It was used by the Muslim Sultanate to withstand the onslaught of the Spaniards. This was one of the regions which the Spanish failed to conquer, only managing to launch two massive onslaughts. The first attack was in 1640. It ended with the retreat of the Spaniards. 250 years later, Spain planned another attack. An armada was brought down from Manila in 1891, and Malabang was made the operation headquarters in the preparation to attack Lanao Lake. The Spaniards burnt all the crops of the locals. Similarly, this attack also went haywire, resulting in the Spaniards retreating once again, never to come back. According to a local inhabitant, there was a fort belonging to Datu Maranao situated on a hill. To find out more about the battles fought there, we followed this trail. Here, the name of Sultan Kudarat came up. One of the territories in Mindanao was even named after him. His greatness was known by all. Sultan Kudarat, the greatest of the Maguindanao rulers, succeeded in defending the sovereignty of his sultanate from falling into the hands of Spain. From his capital near the Pulangi River, the Sultan managed to spread the sultanate's influence to the whole of Mindanao. Years later, his bravery was followed by the ruler of Lanao region, Sultan Benito Amito, who defended against Spain's second attack. These are the remains of a fort, a historical witness to the Malay struggle against subjugation by the Spaniards. The design of its walls is said to be similar to that of the old Johor Fort in Malaysia. Like the old Johor Fort, the palace and the administrative buildings have deteriorated mainly because their structures were made of wood. Nevertheless, fate determines all. The reign of Maguindanao and Sulu sultanates ended when the Philippines achieved independence. What is left are the remains of this old fort, and the memories of days long gone when the Sultanate proudly defended the sovereignty of Islam. Part of the heritage left by the traditional Malays in Mindanao can still be seen today. Among the more unique features is the House of Maranao Noble, known as the Torogan. It was restored to its original state and regarded as one of the artifacts of the Lanao Malays in Mindanao. A unique feature of this house is the etchings at the corners of the Torogan, and this protruding plank called panolong. This building not only functioned as the residence of a noble, but was also the gathering place for religious activities. It also served as a venue for royal ceremonies, village administration center, and a center of solidarity between Muslims. The technique of stretching the pillars' angle by joining them together proves that the architecture of the Malays gives emphasis to the building's durability and strength. Seasons change, and the new generation, the leaders of tomorrow, lives their lives on a different track. This is the exercise period at one of the Quran memorizing schools after dawn prayers. A game of basketball, the most popular game in the Philippines. Classes start after the exercise session. This is the norm for students of religious schools in the Lanao Lake region. The establishment of former religious schools in the 20th century started in the Lanao Lake area. It was established by Sheikh Muhammad Siddiq in 1938 and called Kamilul Islam Mahad Ulum. In the school's curriculum, religious subjects are taught along with English to fulfill the requirements of the National Education Act of the Philippines. However, classes held here follow the private religious school model, which was first established by Sheikh Ahmed Bashir under the name Mahad Mindanao Al-Arabi, which was controlled by the Islamic Organization of Marawi. There are now about 35 private religious schools in the Lanao Lake area. Under the management of the Autonomous Region's representative, those who graduate here can continue with their degree at the King Faisal Islamic Center of the Mindanao University. The peace this land enjoys today was achieved through the armed struggle of the locals' ancestors a few centuries ago. And in times of peace, the teachings of Islam once again flourish. This resurgence of Islam has been well received by the Philippine government that would like to see harmony among its citizens.
اللهم إني أسألك الفردوس الأعلى.
However, today, it is praised not because of its role in war, but because of its exquisite beauty that symbolizes the uniqueness of the Malays in designing a tool which is unsurpassed in quality anywhere in the world. The average Kasan manages to finish 30 keres sondang hills in one day. The kris-making skills of the Maranaos are reflected on this exquisitely finished kris. Abdul Manugankar, 38, took 2 months to finish this kris. It is made of an array of metals, including 14-karat gold and silver. Kris made in this village are already behind the tranquility of this lake. The history is famous due to their fine craftsmanship. Many nobles from Brunei and Malaysia have ordered high-quality kris from here. Kris making is another Malay art which is still kept alive to this day. Nobody would imagine that the ancient skill of making traditional weapons to defend the sovereignty of Islam is still practiced till today.